Stephen Colbert and Rachel Maddow are not so dissimilar. And at the same time that both of them are tanking their companies for different reasons, they decided to get together on the late night show and prove why ratings for the late CBS program are under the bus. Today, we'll tell you what the fuss is about as these two decided to share with the world that they believe United States democracy is over. Is it the right vehicle for late night television, or is this the reason audiences have left, stage left? We know where the ratings went, and we'll tell you right now. Hello, folks, and welcome back to the channel that continues to try to bring America back to the sensible center, the mainstream middle, where money is made. Arguing for conservative television? Nay, I say, and neither for the left, but rather for places of neutrality where audiences can come together and laugh again, one with another, and stop hating each other because of crazy politics run amok. Folks, as we get ready to dive in, consider clicking the like button, and we'll tell you why late night has only a few days left, and maybe MSNBC as well, both bereft from Maddow and Colbert. Take a look at this. It's out of Breitbart. It says, Mean Girls. Oh, gosh, that's funny. Rachel Maddow and Stephen Colbert spread conspiracies about Republicans wanting to get rid of the electoral process.
I never noticed that they look like they're the same person.
Indeed. They were cloned. Folks, let me just explain why we're going to cover this. The reason that this is worthy of coverage on an entertainment channel is because, first of all, Rachel Maddow has destroyed MSNBC. She is receiving a massive, just unbelievable salary, and she's going to be doing one show once a week. She's the only thing that pulls in ratings. That is fascinating to me, number one. But number two, and more importantly for this channel, Stephen Colbert. Stephen Colbert is right up there with Kimmel in destroying the legacy of late night, taking what Johnny Carson built and just leveling it, raising it to the ground at the altar of politics. Both of these individuals have devastated their companies. And Stephen Colbert, he works for CBS, and CBS is currently trying to settle with President Trump because of their own news division and what they did. Colbert and Maddow are, to me, the ultimate symbols of the parasitic nature of people who let politics go completely amok, and they destroy their own businesses, they destroy their own legacies, and they don't care because they're so ideologically stuck. Here's the article. It says, MSNBC host Rachel Maddow and CBS host Stephen Colbert claimed on Tuesday's broadcast, and again, on The Late Show, this is supposed to be comedy hour. This is supposed to set you to bed in a happy way so that you can dream about sugar plums, not politics. That the Republican Party wants to put an end to democracy. No, this is not a Marvel PSA. This is coming your way from late night TV, which is on its way out. The duo both stated that the GOP wants to end elections, though they did not offer much by the way of evidence. So one of the things that's interesting to me is that there's such gross and obvious incompetence and disregard for our institutions, touching third rails like Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid. This is not the behavior of people because Republicans haven't stood up in mass, resist what Donald Trump has done, Colbert railed. Colbert added that a few people here or there have objected. He went on saying, this is not the behavior of people who seem like they believe they have to answer to voters in 18 months. That worries me. Not that they are not worried, but that they don't think they should be worried because maybe they don't have to worry about an election at all. He and Maddow go on and on and on talking about this. Maddow claims that the president doesn't think there should be elections, yada, yada, yada. These are the rantings and ravings of crazy people, but they are tanking late night. And this, folks, we're not trying to be political. I know that's kind of a joke around here, but we really aren't, because if this had happened in the last 4 years and it was this off the rails, we would have covered it. But it doesn't happen on the other side. It only happens on this side. Rachel Maddow and Colbert have absolutely killed their respective shows, their respective channels, and what they were handed to them on a silver platter, that either being cable news or the late night system. They have destroyed them. They have no remorse. There is no recourse for fixing it, and they're doubling and tripling down on the way out. Both of these individuals are basically at the end of their careers, having killed it, and no way now to hand this to somebody else because they took away the gravy train that was handed to them. Let's go to the panel now. Panel, what say you in regards to just how loony these two are, and especially Colbert? He's supposed to be a funny man. There's nothing funny about it.
Well, what's funny, I like satire, so I actually liked when Colbert's whole gimmick was that he was a satire of Bill O'Reilly. I thought it was actually quite clever at times. The second he was unshackled from that and just decided to just be Stephen Colbert, that's when we got him dancing around with vaccine syringes and just turning his entire show into this whining, crying political sounding board. And you're right, Rachel Maddow has utterly destroyed, MSNBC. She has upended an entire news organization with her nonsense. Not for nothing, is CBS like watching what Colbert does? Do they have no control over him? Does he have some kind of ironclad creative control clause in his contract? Because you'd think that while you're trying to settle a lawsuit with this guy that can tank your company and end your merger, that the last thing is that your main late night host should be going out there doing the things that he does. It's absolutely absurd that he still goes out there and does all of this. It is almost a psyop at this point where like Colbert and Maddow and them, they are just arms of the Democratic Party at this point. And it's disgusting. It's just nonstop political pandering, and I can't stand it. And this is why late night is being destroyed. It's why Gutfeld is destroying Colbert in the ratings right now. People don't want this. It's been proven, yet for some reason they can't hit the X button on it.
Well, think about it this way, Michelle. This, Johnny Carson, and he would come on with Ed McMahon, and they would tell the jokes, and they go, oh, and then you had Jay Leno, and you had David Letterman and Conan O'Brien, and they came out and they told jokes, and it was, that was the system. Today's late night is Stephen Colbert, as is correctly pointed out here by Devoy Darkins. It's to come out there with a panelist and say that, folks, it's all over. You have a president for life. We've all been taken over, and this is like Looneyville. This is flat out Looneyville, and they are participating in their own delusions, and audiences don't want to collude with them in that way.
Yeah, I mean, I think these two, I mean, you have some bad actors that just do it just to rile people up. I think people like them actually believe what they say. I think they have deluded themselves so long that they believe it. Like, I really do. And it's just kind of sad because, again, as you're saying, this is supposed to be late night. It's supposed to be lighthearted. It's supposed to be fun. And it's none of that. It is. I don't watch Stephen Colbert. I can barely handle watching a clip of Stephen Colbert because his show is just, it's like you said, he's just complaining all the time. It's just doom and gloom. And it's just like, that's not what late night comedy should do. Like, it should be funny and it should be inviting to all Americans to watch your show. And the fact that these people, especially say a Stephen, who's not supposed to be doing that. I mean, Rachel, yeah, she does political commentary. We get it. But Stephen Colbert's not supposed to. And the fact that someone like him, Kimmel, that's all they want to talk about, it just shows you how politics for many people in America has become the number one religion. It's in their mind and heart all the time. They can't ever get away from it and take a break from it. Because it's just what clouds their mind and heart all the time.
Michelle, to jump from that, it takes what we saw in history where you would have these battles between religious organizations, essentially, right? So you would see battles between Catholicism and Protestantism, or you would see Christianity versus Islam, or vice versa. You saw all this throughout history. And that's, I've taken very European examples, but we could take it into Asia and all sorts of places. The new way that plays out, I think, in modernity is politics. Especially, though, I think from those on the far left end of the spectrum, and Colbert is playing to them, and Rachel Maddow is as well. But what worries me is I think that they may be grifters. Like, I think that they're just milking the system for all the money they can. And I think it's a really negative thing for our culture that somebody like Colbert has come into an institution like late night, and Kimmel as well, and they've said, we're going to annihilate this because we're going to ride this horse until it collapses. It wasn't designed for this. This isn't what it's supposed to be. We're going to take the legacy of decades of people building this into something, and we're going to use it for a totally different purpose until it collapses, and we'll get rich at the same time. That's how I see this. It's really despicable to me that they've done it because it is something that's damaging to our society. People need a place to go and to laugh together. And late night was a place to do it.
I agree.
Vash, any thoughts?
there was a unifying aspect to a lot of our culture, and it was places like entertainment, especially with late night, that you can kind of just put those things to the side and come together over the shared joy of laughter. And now, you have certain people, activists mainly, but I guess it's when I say Colbert, after that, I guess it's one and the same, I suppose. But they have used this as another pulpit, as another place in order to divide, and that's the thing that's obviously most divisive, but most saddening when looking at this whole enterprise, whether it be what Maddow's doing or with Colbert and late night.
Vash, if you look at the way late night used to be structured, I mean, Carson used to do jokes about pretty much everything. It was just current events, pop culture stuff. Karnak was more like, just kind of observational humor. It was funny. It was clever. This is nothing but politics now. Nothing. SNL too. Like, Norm Macdonald would host Weekend Update, and it would just be a whole wealth of different things that you can laugh at. There was something for everyone. That doesn't exist anymore, which is why you're seeing comedians like Nate Bargatze, or Bargatze, Nate Bargatze, my new favorite comedian, who I just bought his book. And he's reaching people because he's going middle of the road and in non-offensive and non-political.
That is a fantastic point.
The only
be hosting the Emmys next year, by the way.
And he just ripped Bob Iger a new one.
We might have to talk about
rip Bob Iger.
All right. Well, we'll leave it there, folks, for now. Unless, Jonas, do you have one more thing you wanted to add? I don't want to cut you off.
No. You guys pretty much covered it, and I've said this many times. This used to be an institution, and now it is. It's not that. It's a relic of what used to be there. It's walking around with a suit, hoping that you'll forget that they are not the greater people who once occupied that role.
There you go. Pulling Hollyweird to the sensible center, the mainstream middle where money is made is not easy, but folks, you make it easy to make videos each and every day because sharing time with you is a great honor, and we never take it lightly. An attitude of gratitude every single time we have the chance to shine with you. Until the next time, we only ask that you click that like button, share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell. Drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. And folks, don't worry about paying any kind of tuition for this free class and how entertainment works. You are on scholarship. Highest IQ on the internet, that's you for sure. Until the next time we have the opportunity to spend time together, folks, we just ask that you keep learning, keep growing, and as ever, keep having fun.
Hey, Floral, guess what?
You put a fork in Pro's microwave again.
No, that was yesterday.
I don't know that what.
Oh, I've decided to give up on torturing Jonas.
What? Why? In the same way the cat sleeps like 20 hours a day, that was like your purpose.
I know, but I've decided there's bigger fish to fry.
Okay.
Like Lorne. I mean, think about it. Everybody loves him. He's a fan favorite, and frankly, he has almost no weaknesses I can find. Except that he's really smart.
So, you want to annoy the one panelist without a single flaw, because he's smart.
Yeah, like that winged statue at that fancy Paris museum thingy. I want to break the one thing that everyone loves most.
So, kind of like the opposite of Rachel Zegler.
Yeah, exactly. And I get to see her all the time at family reunions anyway.
You get to see Rachel Zegler?
Yeah. She's a total troll. Lives under a bridge, harasses billy goats, the whole 9 yards.
It all makes sense now.
Speaking of which, maybe she'll get me... Okay, call her on my... I'm gonna call her and see if she'll be in the next Indiana Jones. She should be the next Indiana Jones. That'll totally destroy Lord. He loves Indiana Jones.
Oh, that's cruel.
Hey, Rach. I've got a cool idea for you that involves a whip and snakes.
I love that description. It's perfect.
I know, right? Weird, as we always say.